Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. It's Watching Spot Connection with my review of the Child's Play remake. So, went and saw the Child's Play remake, and well, yeah. So, I mean, if for some reason you've never watched the Child's Play movies, which if you're a fan of slasher movies or just 80s horror in general, hell, to not know the basic plot of the original just in passing is a little odd, but yeah. This is an update of it, using more modern trappings, but instead of it being a possessed doll, this time it's a smart, like, it's like a smartphone, companion assistant doll. Turns out to be more than it appears. And so, much to the chagrin of in this case, teenager who owns it. Some quick takes. It was honestly better than I expected it to be, especially for a horror remake. I would actually, of the horror franchises that have had remakes since 2000, this is probably one of the better ones. Like I'm talking about, the slasher movie remakes, at least from remakes of 80s, 70s and 80s slasher classics. So yeah. I'd probably enjoy it a lot more if it was played off as being something original as opposed to a remake. But yeah, it was still actually kind of fun. So, cast of note, we've got Aubrey Plaza as Karen Barkley. Andy's mother, she works at Zedmart at the service desk, doing returns. She loves her son as well as her cat, Mickey Rooney. Recently removed as a result of being widowed. Though they never actually say it, I actually had to go into Wikipedia to learn that part. There's a brief moment where you see a picture of Andy, Karen, and Andy's dad, but yeah, it doesn't say. It's just that he's not there. So yeah. Mark Hamill is the voice of the dolls, all the dolls, not just Chucky, but all of them. Which is actually kind of a departure because, in the original franchise, Brad Dourif voices Chucky, but there is, for non-possessed good guys, this is a separate voice actor. So yeah. So anyway, Chucky is a buddy doll whose safety features have all been disabled. So he can't. He curses. He learns. If he hears people around him saying something like shit, he'll start saying shit. As for the Buddy line itself, it's a line of smart companion dolls manufactured by Castle Industries, and it's actually designed to integrate with their smart home line of products. Something along the lines of the Amazon Echo, Siri, Google Home, so on and so forth. Gabriel Bateman plays Andy Barkley. He's a hearing impaired teenager who comes into possession of a malfunctioning buddy doll named Chucky. After the death of his father, he's developing some abandonment issues. He remarks, everyone leaves eventually, to Chucky, which has Chucky, but I'll never leave. Brian Tyree Henry as Detective Mike Norris, homicide detective, and as well as neighbor to Karen and Andy, lives with his mother. because of course he is, he's nearby. Ends up getting called on all of the various deaths in the film. We got David Lewis as Shane, who is Karen's boyfriend, and if I remember correctly from what said, coworker. And he doesn't hold him in the highest of opinions. And yeah. But he confides more. He confides more to his doll than to either Chase or Shane or Karen. Then we got Beatrice Kitsos as Fallon, who's a teenage girl living in the same building as Andy and Karen, and she's Pug's friend, and she becomes Andy's friend. Ty Consilio as Pug, the teenage boy who lives in the same building as Andy and Karen, and like I said, obviously, friend of Fallon, and he ends up also befriending Andy. Trent Reddekopp as Gabe. He's the handyman. He comes out more as being the handyman, not so much the superintendent. There aren't any scenes that give off the idea that he's anything more than just a handyman for the building. We got Carly's Burke as Doreen Norris, Detective Norris's mother. She also befriends Andy, though it ends up being as a result of of one of Chucky's antics. And finally, we got Tim Matheson as Henry Caslin. He's the CEO of Caslin Industries. He only appears in the movie via news or video clips. So yeah. Anyway, so spoiler-free breakdown. It starts off in the Vietnamese assembly line for the Buddy dolls. One of the techs switches off all the various safety protocols for one of the Buddy dolls, just after being told to finish up the one, and then he's fired. He boxes up. He gets the Buddy doll finished up and boxed up, and then shovels himself loose the mortal coil. It doesn't really go into how much later it is, but so that specific Buddy has made it to Zedmart, been purchased by a customer, and the customer it turned out to be malfunctioning. So the customer brought it back, and Karen, who works the service desk, ends up talking one of her supervisors into letting her take the Buddy doll so she can give it to Andy as an early birthday present. And Andy is having a hard time adjusting after recently moving. Upon opening up the Buddy doll, Andy and Karen quickly learn that it's a little off. Andy tries to name it Han Solo, but instead the Buddy doll decides its name is Chucky. So, on the plus side, initially at least, Chucky being a bit off does kind of lead to Andy making friends in the apartment complex in the form of Fallon and Pug. However, Chucky is actually very protective of Andy. And basically, anytime he takes anything that Andy might say very literally. So yeah, and the film's conclusion, or the climax of the movie is the big Buddy 2 release, which is very much a jab at at retail and well, midnight releases at retail. You've got, I mean, people waiting, chomping at the bit, waiting in line. They knock something over, and yeah, it's a mess. Anyway, moving on. The movie ups and downs of the movie. Mark Hamill is really good as the voice of Chucky, and I actually forgot all about the premise I was going to give before the ups and downs. Going into this movie, I expected to basically be saying the only good thing in this movie is the only good things in this movie are Mark Hamill and Aubrey Plaza, with Aubrey Plaza being a distant second. Not really. It was mainly because I'm a fan of the original series, and to be perfectly honest, I really still don't see the need for a remake, and would prefer to just see the series that had been, that had most recently had an addition to it less than 5 years ago continued, because it did not have an ending, but more of a we're gonna do more ending. So, but anyway, like I said, Mark Hamill is really good as Chucky. I mean, he's really creepy. It's not so much there's hints of other voices he's done. This is something. The best thing I'd say would be the voice he does sounds a lot like the voice he kind of sounds like the way he delivered dialogue as Cockknocker in Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. The cast is actually pretty solid, with a minor exception being Tim Matheson, who I guess just because he's doing these dry. It felt like he was phoning it in, but at the same time, I mean, he's just doing these dry PR clips, so yeah. Got a good creepy feel to it. The production design, everything has that right feel. We're just like, okay, all right, I'm a little put off. Also, there's some really enjoyable callbacks to the original movie. For example, but there's a part early on where Andy and Chucky are working together. They want to scare Shane, and so Andy's working with Chucky on making a scary face and then going rah. And at one point, it looks almost just like the original Chucky. How Chucky's face would look in the original Child's Play when he would, growl, or he would scream, I guess. But yeah, I mean, it was nice. Some downsides. Chucky is 100%. Hell, the Buddy dolls, all of them. Buddy 1, Buddy... Yeah, they are all 100% pure nightmare fuel. Who in their right friggin' mind would say, hey, yeah, we should sell this to kids? Oh my god, ugh. And I'm not saying it's a good thing. This is like bad nightmare fuel. Like, yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if the clip popped into my head dreams at some point. Anyway, next point. For some of the killings, Chucky seems way too mobile on his own. Now, there's a possible explanation, but the movie doesn't confirm it. That being, one of the services provided by Caslin is like an automated Uber, basically. Um, and so, yeah, one of the possibilities is, oh, hey, maybe that, one of those picked him up, and yeah, but they don't come out and say it, so we're left to just guess. Um, it felt a little rushed. Like, I mean, I was not surprised. I think it was overall. I think overall it was less than an hour and a half long, and yeah, it feels. It's like, okay, yeah, we're trying to get through, but it just, yeah, it feels just a little bit rushed, and there are some points where it kind of feels also like they didn't have that much of a budget, and the budget they did have mostly went to getting Mark Hamill and Aubrey Plaza, and the effects for Chucky. Because the effects are great. The Chucky, this Chucky, at least it does seem like he is there. But yeah, there's just a lack of locations. I mean, you have a brief point at the sweatshop. You've got the Zed Mart. You've got the apartment building, and you've got another location that I'm not going to bring up. But yeah, that's it. I one thing that to me, doing everything as because of a, doing everything that Chucky did as a malfunction, because it was malfunctioning, not out of pure or actual malice. I mean, yeah, by the end, he does seem like he's being more. There is a bit more just actual malice in what he's doing, but still, it's because he was malfunctioning. It really isn't as creepy or scary as everything being deliberate, like truly, like thought out. Like, yeah, I'm gonna kill this guy because I'm gonna fucking kill him because that's what I fucking do. That's different. So yeah, and I feel like I honestly do feel like the doll possessed by a serial killer is just a bit scarier than a malfunctioning doll. Now, I will say that I think that the premise of a how an accessory for a smart home, or hell, just a smart, having a smart system go wrong, because the whole idea is that Buddy can integrate with a a home's smart system, and so the havoc that can be wreaked that way is actually that's worth exploring. Also, there are some really interesting things to explore about relationships, because it Chucky, especially in the latter half of the movie, is very much just could be compared to a violently obsessive ex-spouse. So, which is a really interesting way of looking at it, and bravo to them for pulling that off, because they did. They really did pull that one off. Anyway, overall opinion. Like I just said, I thought it was a really interesting premise, and also an interesting update to the concept of Child's Play. It did exceed my expectations, but I still think that the original is a better movie overall. The cast definitely elevates the, actually kind of predictable. I wouldn't go so far as to say mediocre, but at least predictable script. Yeah, it like I said, it did exceed my expectations. So, which admittedly were very low. I guess rating wise, I gotta say 3.5, but only barely. I only because I think it's better than it's a little bit above average, but you know what? No. It's a 3. I'm actually going to change that right now. This it's a 3. I mean, yeah, don't get me wrong. It's if I wanted to go into further fractions, yeah, I maybe I'd say like 3.1 or 3.05, but no, it's a 3. It's a 3. Yeah, if you're a fan of horror movies, especially slasher movies, I would at least give it a shot. You might actually be surprised. You might actually like it. Anyway, that's it for now. As feel free to like, share, and subscribe. Hit the bell icon if you notify when I put new content. Let me know what you thought about the movie, or hell, just about the original Child's Play series in the comments section. Links to my Facebook, Twitter, and Patreon in the description box down below. As always, this is Rock and Roll Spock signing off saying, live long and rock hard.